Hello, this week in landscaping, July 28th, 2025. We're going to be talking about crepe myrtles quite a bit, but before we go there, we're going to talk about several other blooming plants right now. The weather's been lovely, continues to be lovely this week. We will, it looks like probably top out mid to high 90s. Again, we're several 5, 7 degrees cooler than what we would typically expect this time of year. And a lot of that has to just do with the moisture in the soil because we've had so much rain in the beginning of July. It is a self-reinforcing cooling cycle. The sun doesn't heat up the ground as much because it's got so much moisture, and therefore it is able to cool itself off more in the overnight periods. And then it just cycled through. We had some spotty storms yesterday, some on the east side, some on the west side. Where I was at didn't hit us, but it kept the cool temperatures down. And it looks like we have more of that coming through. It looks like there might be some storms in the Gulf that might throw some random stuff up at us. We'll see. You never can really predict it. Look, my shirt matches this flower. That's not on purpose. Um, okay. What we're going to talk through is just because of all the moisture, because of the wonderful weather, we've had longer bloom cycles than typical on a lot of plants. Some things would have been blooming right now because they just do great in the summer. That's stuff like these lantanas. This is a new gold lantana. New gold lantanas are the classic lantana. Um, they look great right now. They'd be doing great even without the rain, but especially great right now. This is a yellowbells Esperanza. I said that funny. Esperanza. Um, These are blooming great right now. They look really good. They're very heat tolerant as well. And then you get into every size and color of crepe myrtle imaginable is out there right now. It's really great. So I learned some stuff recently. I think I don't think I've talked through all this on these videos before, but one, crepe myrtles are not native to Texas, which I think we knew, but if you didn't, they're not native to Texas, but they have been around the United States since the late, maybe as early as the late 1700s when they were first brought over. China, Korea, maybe Japan a little bit, although I don't think the United States was really interacting with Japan very much in the late 1700s. Um, and The issues were a lot of these cultivars, types of crepe myrtles, not being native from here, had some disease issues, specifically powdery mildew. So they really didn't become popular, and especially not popular in Texas until like the mid 1900s, mid 1950, 60 range. And that was because there were some variants that were developed that made them far more resistant to powdery mildew and uh, bloom a lot more, which made them more popular, as you can imagine. So, a guy named Dr. Egolf developed a crossbreed between a Japanese one and another popular one that I don't remember the main variety, and it gave all these different varieties that he called like the Native American varieties. He named them after tribes, Native American tribes, and I got the like list here: Natchez, Muskegee, Tuscarora, Catawba. I should know that. Sorry. Biloxi, Sioux, Tonto, Zuni. Um, and each of those, just show you this because it's cool. You can kind of see, ah, you can see the different heights and colors that go along with this. So, like one thing that people forget, just do not forget that there are very wide variances in size and color when it comes to crepe myrtles. So if you got a crepe myrtle, you don't know what color it is, and you're trying to match it, make sure you understand. You do the research, wait until you see the blooms, or do the research on what you have there so that you can um, match it appropriately. This is not even close to all inclusive on the list of things, but you can see some of these go 8 feet, some of these go 30 feet. And I've seen some that are variants that go 35 or 40 feet. And I've seen some variants that go 4 or 5 feet. But this is like just a developed group that Dr. Eagle did in the 1950s, I think, from the National Arboretum. And this just took off. This is what made it really possible and popular in Central Texas to get all of these crepe myrtles you see in your yard, um, with all these variants of colors. They they are very drought tolerant. You don't need to worry about them once established. They need to be established. Um, they do bloom after getting water, but you want to make sure that if you overwater them too consistently, then they're going to put their effort towards growth as opposed to flowering. Remember that plants flower when they're under stress, so they need to have proper nutrition and water, and then stress, and that makes them don't don't overthink the plants flower under stress, but they need to have some sort of moment that'll make says, "Hey, I need to reproduce in order to survive," and that's part of what happens there. So there you have it. That's this week in landscaping. What's going on out there? Have a wonderful week. Cheers.